Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to another Toonkind D&D FPS. This is The Silent Cry, and I am Mira, and I will be playing at least two people today. We'll see how this goes. And with me is the very wonderful...
Oatmeal, thank you. And today I will be playing just one person, the professor.
whom we love very, very much. And we're going to start with you, Professor. Uh,
hmm
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you were heading somewhere in your ship.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the professor was he was heading over to Praxis, to the mechanical city of Praxis, to hopefully pick up a part, a mass schleptometer.
Okay. All
Just
right.
just a little bit of flavor there. Yep, that's where he was going.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Great. How do you know when you arrive?
Um, when she's in flight, the ellipsis has a middle column that is both lit up and it's sort of the rods inside it go up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it stops, she's landed.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you see that happen and you assume you've reached your destination, but when you open the door to the ellipsis, it's not the place that you were expecting. It's not Praxis. Um,
Mm.
it is a real city because you have spent a lot of time in Inkwell, in Toontown in particular, with its very, very colorful streets and outlines
hmm
and everything. Yeah, no, this is nothing like that. It's just cobblestone, kind of gray.
hmm
Uh, there are some really, really pretty kind of street lights that are currently not on right now. And there are several, like, there are people milling about. It looks like a regular city, but it is very much a real kind city. There
Nice.
are some people walking by who don't really notice at all your ship appearing. Uh,
hmm
they're It's kind of interesting because like a lot of the fashion is kind of like uh a lot of sun hats, but like they're curtained.
Huh.
Like a lot of people are wearing that, and like there's other people who are walking about who aren't like that. But
hmm
like that is a very definite fashion statement that's going on right now.
That's interesting. Huh. Um, I have to ask a question. Does this sort of style of dress m- mean that like their like entire body is covered,
Entire body
basically?
is covered, yes. Like it is like a full
Okay,
on body curtain.
that's interesting. Okay, all right.
And like you
Okay,
can see the people inside, but like they're it's a lot more shadowy and shaded than you would
yeah,
expect. Because like there's
yeah,
a lot of curtain and fabric in there.
yeah. Uh, well, right off the bat, he's a little bit wary because that sort of um style of dress, it can mean a lot of things, but it can also mean one specific very bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I guess I'll roll perception.
Yep, roll perception.
All right. Okay. I got it. 18.
All right. With an 18, you're definitely able to see as someone just walks right by where the ellipsis is parked, and you're able to see that the person inside uh, the veiled hat type dress is a drow. there are a lot of drow in this city who, to avoid being blinded by the sunlight, have picked up wearing these very, very large, ostentatious hats with a lot of veils on them.
Nice. I will say that detail immediately puts him at ease because that is not what he was concerned about.
Mm-hmm. But yes, that is the fashion statement that certain drow have decided to make.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, is does he uh hmm which direction looks more appealing on the road, I guess?
Okay, to the right of the ellipsis is kind of more shop district, and to the left it looks like there is a pathway that's starting to lead into some gardens.
Oh, I think he'll take the garden path.
All right. Uh, roll me another perception real quick.
Absolutely. Okay, you're not going to believe this, but it's another 18.
Your dice are really liking the 18 right now. Okay. As you're walking down, you see that the trees are wisteria trees. They are very. I'm trying to remember if it's blooms or if their leaves are just that purple, but regardless, they are very purple right now, and they kind of have this beautiful draping effect as they are kind of woven over the path that you're walking down.
Mm-hmm.
And as you walk, you can see that there is a lot of benches, a lot of nice places to stop and sit, and uh, you uh, you see that there are a few people out and about. It's not as crowded as where the shopping district was. There are a lot of flowers, just a lot of like happy buzzing bees floating around. It is warm where you are. Inkwell is currently heading into burr season, but where you're at right now, whatever time you've landed,
Mm-hmm.
it's warm.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going along, and with an 18, you also notice that there are some very lifelike statues just kind of scattered about the park, kind of right by the benches where people can sit and stuff, admire the artwork and stuff. And there is one particular spot where like there's kind of like up a hill, and there like looks like it could be a picnic area, and there's like a really big wisteria tree there.
Mm-hmm. I think he'd like to look at one of the statues, get a closer look. Maybe uh, see if there's a plaque saying who made it, or
Mm-hmm.
determine what it's made of. That'd be investigation, I
Yes,
guess.
roll me investigation.
Okay. That is 10.
You got a 10?
Yeah.
Okay. With a 10, you're not really able to make out exactly who made this statue or what it's
Mm-hmm.
called. The plaque is a little bit more dedicated towards like as like kind of like the like dedicated to, and it
Yeah.
says gifted to Lord Valari Lancaster, uh, noble of the city.
Hmm. Interesting.
And that's like all you're really able to find. The statue is just like a very, very nice picture of an elven woman sitting down reading a book.
Oh, you cut out for a second. All I heard was sitting down reading a book.
Okay, it's an elven woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's just sitting down reading a book. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
she's wearing a nice dress, has long hair. Uh, Nothing super special except for the fact that it looks incredibly lifelike. It is the marksmanship for this is chef kiss, amazing, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Um, I guess he'll continue on down the path. Maybe go by the bakery, just go past it to like admire it.
Sorry, you cut out a little bit on my end this time. What did you
Oh,
say?
haha. Um, the professor is going to go walk more and maybe go past the big wisteria tree to
Mm-hmm.
just kind of admire it.
Okay. All right. You head in that direction, and you walk up the hill, and you're able to see into where the city is starting to kind of sprawl out from your vantage point.
Mhm.
And you discover this is a coastal town. It
Mm.
is nestled right alongside the coast, and you look and look and look, and there's just gorgeous, picturesque beaches, and there's just really gorgeous seaside cottages all along. And as you're looking, you also look and see that there is a castle on the far end of the city, kind of where the city starts to peter out. There are some docks, and then higher up on a cliff face is this castle overlooking the
Mm-hmm.
town.
Interesting. Hmm. Um, I think he is uh he's gonna start, I think, making his way out of the park and uh toward the docks because he's just sort of wandering around at this point.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As you're heading towards the dock, I want you to make me a perception check.
Mm-hmm. 16.
Okay, with a 16, you are vibing. You see a lot of uh, normal stuff for the town.
Mm-hmm.
You do see a ship uh, that is just barely leaving the port, and there is a figure standing on the docks, kind of just also draped in the drow long hat and curtain of outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And they're watching the ship go.
Uh-huh. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Um, are there any uh like sailors working at the dock?
Yeah, like there's
Dock workers
regular
or
sailors working at the dock. There
mm-hmm.
are people. Like it looks like it's a normal day.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. I think he's gonna uh I think he's gonna find someone who doesn't look super busy and just kind of walk up to them and say, um hello there. I'm new in town. Uh what's exciting around here?
The sailor that is kind of currently not really busy with that 16, you were able to find one. They kind of pause what they're doing, and it is kind of a stout, orcish woman. who like
Mm-hmm.
kind of just turns and looks at you, and she kind of quirks an eyebrow a little bit and then kind of just shrugs like, oh sure, I have some time to talk.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh well, there's a few bars in town, there's our Lord's gardens that are open to everyone here, and well, there's quite a lot of fascinating things here in Earlstown.
Mm-hmm. Any local gossip?
Oh well, there. You didn't hear it from me,
Of
but
course not.
the Lord has a little bit of a paramour, you see. There's
Oh.
a captain, yes, that very, very fascinating young man. Just, oh, I wouldn't mind being on that man's ship. Oh, that ship is, gorgeous. But anyways, the captain visits the Lord often, you see, and just,
Mm.
oh, my sister, she works in the kitchens, and they're always together. Just always. It's a wonder. I wonder when we're gonna have a wedding. It's
Ooh.
the Lord has been very lonely. You see, it's been
Mm.
quite a while since the death of the the poor the poor uncle. He's
Mm.
woke the poor Lord woke up and found him dead.
Oh dear.
Yes, it was a terrible thing. The entire town was dreadfully sorry. But we're happy to have our Lord more hale now. Yes, poor
Mm.
man was very shocked. Very, 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 very. It was a very sad day.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad things seem to be looking up.
Yes. It is very prosperous. It's been quite a boom actually uh, the Lord's been ordering things abroad. It's been very great for
Mm.
trade here. It's been opening up new doors, so to speak.
Ah, yes. Huh.
Uh,
Um.
Want to ask
Uh.
any other questions?
uh maybe I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He says. What was that ship that just left? Do you
Oh,
know?
oh, speak of the devil. Actually, that was the captain's ship right then, leaving.
Oh.
Yes, you see, our Lord saw him off just the evening. Oh, poor dear. I don't know when the poor captain's gonna be making landfall again. Oh, we never know, really. It's quite, but the captain does send gifts to the Lord. It's quite a cute courtship, really.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't hear it from me. They haven't really actually made it official.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Of course.
But it's good to see the Lord have some companionship and happiness in his life. The poor man deserves it.
Yes. Yes. Certainly. Um.
Any
I'm.
pat-
I'm.
any particular reason you're in town?
Um. Just. Just looking around. Really. I'm a traveler.
Ah, I see, a travelling type. Got quite a few of those in our economy too. They settle down. They like it here.
Mm.
Quite nice place to retire. We got the beaches. We got our fine establishments here. Perfect tavern. Best turkey roast I have ever eaten in my life.
Uh. I can understand that. I can understand that.
But yes,
My.
might might stay a little while. Might be worth your while.
Oh, maybe. I don't stay anywhere too long, but this is a very nice place.
Yes, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's just little old slice of paradise here.
Hmm. Well, thank you for your time.
Yes, of course. Always happy to help a fellow traveller.
Have a good day then.
Have a good day, sir. And they grab a box that they were working on and heft it up. It's their job. I'm not making them roll for it.
Oh
She
yeah.
hefts it up, kind of just gives you a nod and walks off to deliver this crate to
Mm-hmm.
wherever it's supposed to go next.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think probably I heard dice. I think probably the professor is going to head towards the castle
Mm-hmm.
because what else do you do? um,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, yeah. What do things look like at the castle if he doesn't have any trouble getting there?
You're not really able to get to the castle grounds itself. It's
Aha.
quite a trek. You would have to go up the mountain and, well, not the mountain, but the
Oh.
cliffside. You would have to go up there, and you would also have to pass through some guards uh, who are very not willing to let people go farther. This is
Mm-hmm.
one
Mm-hmm.
place that you're, even if like you rolled a nat 20, I will say you're not going to be able to get to the actual castle grounds.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, he's seen it. Uh, should I roll perception to
Yes.
see if there's anything interesting about it?
Yep.
Okay.
Roll me perception.
Yep. Okay, dirty 20.
Okay, with a dirty 20, you, from your vantage point from where you've been able to, like, basically kind of get a little bit of a look from the guard way station,
Mm-hmm.
you're able to see that the garden is, well, not the garden, the grounds are very well, meticulously well kept. It's very gorgeous. There are a few servants walking the grounds, most likely the gardeners themselves, making sure everything is good. Uh, with that dirty 20, though, you do notice that there is kind of a little shadowy effect
Hmm.
there. You don't know exactly what that is, though, but like you kind of get this ominous sense of kind of like mild foreboding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
But also with that uh, 20, uh, which my roll of, if my keyboard can type, 11 plus 4, you see on your way back from the castle, you see a small figure dart from the alleyway and kind of just be running pell-mell down the street, kind of furtively looking over their shoulder. Um, and it is a Toon, very
Oh,
out of place in this real kind city.
yeah, no kidding.
And the Toon is completely bald,
Mm-hmm.
white skin, and is wearing a very, very dirty, soot stained charcoal kimono and
Mm-hmm.
is barefoot.
Huh. Is there somebody visibly after them?
Well, let me roll perception for this bastard. That was a nat 1. No, the kid has lost them.
Ah.
But the kid is
Um,
still running. Like you kind of
yeah.
see like coming out of like the city crowds, this man, this real kind human, uh
Mm-hmm.
tall, he has long black hair kind of swept up in a bun, and he's very well dressed. He's very obviously searching for someone,
Mm.
but does not see the Toon that is hiding behind a tree now.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hmm. Um, I think I think uh hmm. Let me see. Is there anything I can
If you want, you can roll history.
yeah, sure. I will roll history. Okay, that is 19.
Okay, with a 19, you're looking at this kid who hasn't really noticed you. They are very obviously looking at this human who is futilely looking.
Mhm.
And you stare and stare and stare and go, wait a second, that kid looks a little familiar. And then you overlay rainbow hair with
Mhm.
the current outfit, add a add several feet to this
Mhm.
child, and if you were a tune, a light bulb would go over your head. Is that Sammy?
Oh boy. Hmm. How is he gonna do this? I think he's going to I think try to casually go over there, but without drawing the other man's attention.
Mm-hmm.
If he's able
Roll
to
me
do that.
stealth.
Sure. Okay, please, please be good. Okay, 14.
That beats the man's 13.
Whoa. All right. Well, then he makes it over to the tree pretty casually, and
You also beat Sammy's passive.
oh dear.
You know.
um uh okay, uh he reaches for something in his pocket and pulls it out and just sort of leans so that he can like see the kid behind the tree without hopefully without drawing attention.
Mm-hmm.
Um and he 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 sort of holds the little bag in his hand, um and he says, hello there. Would you would you like a gummy bear?
That was a whiz save to see if they jumped. That's the wrong modifier. That was an 8.
Hmm.
They jump and startle very, very badly, but their hands clamp over their mouth to muffle any startled squeaking that
Mm-hmm.
that he would do. And it's interesting. Professor, this Sammy doesn't have gold eyes.
Interesting.
His eyes are white.
Oh. Hmm. Huh.
And
I,
another interesting thing, there's no color.
oh. Oh boy.
Because you've seen Sammy startle before and seen color happen on his shading.
Yeah.
There's no shading at all.
Oh boy. Haha. Oh boy. Uh. Yeah. Not good. All signs point to bad. Um. Um. He. Uh. He sort of tilts his head down, looks apologetic, and says, "Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you."
Wasn't scared. Why offer?
Oh. Um. Because I like to offer things to strangers, specifically these. They're very good.
Sammy just stares at you.
He's gonna take one from the bag, without looking, and stick one in his mouth.
There's a little
And
tune squinting at you, trying to see if there's any obvious bad reaction.
yeah, nothing. Swallows it. Just shrugs.
There's a little grabby hand.
He
Just
gives it over.
boop, It is gone. And it's interesting. When you first met Sammy, there was no mask, but like I said, he's just wearing a very soot stained kimono.
Hmm. Hmm.
And he just kind of slowly chews,
Hmm.
swallows, and then just blinks up at you.
Would you like would you help would you like help hiding?
He kind of looks over at where the man is still searching and then back at you, and then he tilts his head.
Hmm.
Why
What?
help?
Why help? Um, because I know what it's like to be on the run, to be chased, to be hunted down. It's not fun.
Sammy shakes his head no, in agreement to the fact that, yeah, no, it's not fun.
Yeah. If you want, you can roll insight.
Yeah, he's little. Oh, honey. Honey, honey, honey. Oh, let's look at your insight mod. That was a +1. Doesn't make it any better. That is a 4.
All right. Yeah, you can't tell anything.
So, yeah,
This guy some words and yeah.
you get a little squint because that was a 4. And he says, he offered help but hurt.
Oh. Hmm. Oh, I see your dilemma here. Hmm. And he sort of looks away and looks thoughtful. Um, and um, he tilts his head and he says, any way I can convince you that I'm trustworthy to at least mm, like I'm not asking you to do anything crazy, but maybe I could help you find a better hiding spot.
He blinks at you and then goes, no magic.
Oh, no magic? You don't want me to do any magic?
No magic.
Oh. Uh, all right. I won't do any magic then.
And then you see the tense shoulders relax.
Hmm. All right. Well, let's see. Uh because he doesn't hmm how old does this kid look?
He looks to be 8 years old.
Okay. Um
He is
he's
holdable. He is small enough for you to hold.
yeah, yeah. Um he's debating whether or not to go to the Ellipsis because that's not really somewhere he can like stay. But on the other
Mm-hmm.
hand, he doesn't know the town well enough to know anywhere else that's secure. He'd have to
Mm-hmm.
find something. Um, I think he's going to head in the direction of the Ellipsis.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, let's see. Oh, uh he's going to take off his hat and put it on presumably Sammy, and also unwind his scarf and sort of uh, drape it all around so it kind of like
Mm-hmm.
it the colors sort of distract from the rest of the kimono. So hopefully he looks more different from a distance.
Fun fact about tunes. That works.
Uh-huh.
You uh, I'm not going to make you roll intelligence to recognize the disguise that you put on this boy yourself, but
Uh-huh.
you step back and go, wow, this kid looks completely different.
Oh, very, very good, very good. Oh, he says, I think that'll do nicely. How about this way? I do know a place. It's my place, in fact, but I won't. I won't insist you come in. At the very least, you can hide behind it, though. Um, Nobody should bother you there, and if they do, I can uh, claim that they're too close to my spot.
Sammy kind of blinks and then nods because, okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That is very close to some urchin lingo. This child understands that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Understands the rule of having one's place and chasing off anybody who gets too close to their place.
Yeah, you got your turf.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, then I think he's gonna try to lead them back to the ellipsis then.
All right.
Shall I roll something for that?
Yes, roll survival.
Okay.
Because you have been wandering around town.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a bit. Oh gosh. What is my oof? Okay, I got an 8.
Okay. So you don't get so lost that you can't find your way back, but it takes you the rest of the day. It was morning when you left. It
Mm-hmm.
is well past dark by the time you got back.
Oh man.
And the lanterns are starting to turn on.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, the lanterns are gorgeous. Uh, what the dock lady forgot to mention is the fact that this city is very well known for their lights.
Mm-hmm.
It's a city of lights, and it has quite a lot of nightlife, actually, considering the high population of Drow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right, yeah.
so the rest of the city basically comes alive as soon as the night falls.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
So you two are. What probably helps take a while is the fact that it suddenly has become very crowded.
Mm-hmm.
There are people all about taking in all of the sights, going to the shops. Because like you basically landed kind of pretty close to both the garden and the shops, which are highly trafficked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Uh-huh.
so you're making your way towards where you left the ellipsis last. And
Mm-hmm.
there are so many people.
Mm-hmm. Um.
And to not get swept away, this little Sammy reaches out and actually grabs your hand and holds on
Oh.
for very tight life.
Yeah, absolutely. Um. He says, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put my spot. Um. I didn't realize it was so busy here.
Put your spot.
Yeah, I didn't mean to choose this location.
You get a few blinks up at you.
I guess you could say I'm new to the area.
Mm.
Otherwise, I probably would have been able to find my way back sooner.
The little Sammy nods and kind of also like does a little shrug and goes,
Mm.
"You too."
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Uh, shall I roll again, or do they like finally
Yeah,
make
they
it
do
over
finally
there?
make it over there. Like you
Okay.
do. Like I am not. This is an FPS, not a game. I'm not
Yeah.
making this like a forever. We can't
Mhm,
find
mhm.
anything.
Yeah.
But you do end up getting there.
Okay. All right. He walks up to the ellipsis and just sort of stops and um gestures uh just sort of grandly to it and says, "This is my home."
And remind me again for the recording what the ellipsis looks like on the outside.
That's right. It looks like um a uh it looks like a telephone box. It is maybe 3 by 3 feet on the inside, uh, maybe a little, maybe 4 by 4, and it is um, just it's tall enough that you could fit a tall person in there, so maybe 7 or 8 feet,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's just sort of metal with glass windows. Only it's frosted, so you can't see inside.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's painted red,
You
and
see,
it says phone box on it.
you see a very confused double take from this small child, but his shading, there is no shading. There is nothing.
Hmm.
As this child just looks between you and the phone box, and then
Hmm.
back to you a few times.
Hmm. Um, he uh he goes to the front of it, and he stops and turns to Sammy and he says, "All right, um, I'm going to open it, and you can look inside, um, to see if you want to go in, and if you don't want to go in, um, then we'll just hide around behind it. I think it's just an alleyway. There shouldn't be anyone uh going by anyway." And with that, he opens the door to the ellipsis, um, and lets Sammy take a look.
It's bigger on the inside.
Yup, it sure is.
And Sammy looks inside, and there is a very big cartoonish question mark above this kid's head.
Mm-hmm.
Just, wait, what? And then Sammy turns to you and goes, Tune?
I can understand why you would think that, but it's actually um, it's real kind technology from very, very, very far away. It took us a lot longer to develop this sort of thing uh, than it took Toons. I mean, my goodness, they did it in only a few hundred years. I mean, that's frankly incredible. But no, it's just kind of a mini self-contained dimension stuffed into this box.
Sammy blinks a few times, but as Professor has kind of started rambling about, wow, tunes have like been able to achieve really amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you see this kid relax a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And Sammy turns to you, Professor, and goes, Inside?
Do you want to?
And Sammy nods and then kind of makes grabby hands for Professor's hand.
Yeah, he'll hold his hand and go through and lead Sammy behind him as they go through the doors. Um, they are now in a 30 by 30-foot room, um, and he closes the door behind them.
Mm-hmm. I'm just getting all thing. Oh, poor baby.
Oh no.
That was just me trying to see if anything would poke through. Nope.
Oh man.
But it is very obvious that this child's eyes are very wide as he takes in everything. Because,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, it's just soothing to kind of be in a space that is very similar to a Toonkind thing, even if it is
Mm.
real.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you do see, Professor, the fact that this kid is untensing and relaxing and kind of settling, even though
Mm-hmm.
there are no colors still.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. He uh gives him a light pat on the shoulder, just kind of encouraging. And let's see, what is he? Let me check if I have any things. Do I have any things that are? No, not that. Ah, he has um uh he says um he says I think tune tune technology is very cool, and I let's see, a friend of mine gave me this, and he takes a off of, like, it's pinned to the inside of his like shirt collar, and it just looks like a sewing pin, just kind of like a bulb on one end, uh long stick of metal, and a uh kind of pointy, a little bit sharp, but not extremely sharp, just kind of like thumbtack sharp
Mm-hmm.
end to it. And it's just and it very clearly has an outline.
Mm-hmm. Toon make.
Yeah, absolutely. And this guy was just, wearing it.
Mm-hmm. Sammy blinks at it, and I'm just. Oh, honey! I am very sorry. The dice have decided that this is
Ah!
going to be a bit of an angst drop. My apologies. That was a nat 1 in a whiz
Oh
save
no!
because that's very similar to a needle.
Oh no!
So you kind of just see Sammy recognize that, but then kind of flinch back a little and kind of clutch at at his wrist a little
Mm-hmm.
and goes, "No poke."
Oh, no, 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 not at all. No, I won't. In fact, let me put that back. And he sticks it back into his shirt collar.
And immediately there's relaxment. This child is
Mm-hmm.
relaxed again. They're no longer stressed. I am so sorry. That was supposed to be wholesome, and then the dice decided that it would be not. I
uh-huh.
am so sorry.
um, all right. The professor sort of gestures around at the room, which is it's got kind of these like uh hexagonal divots in the wall that kind of have a soft glow to them. And there's a console in the center of the room that's um it's got like a few blinking lights on it, but it's got like a bunch of different controls.
Mm-hmm.
Um he says, this is my home, and there's actually more of it, but I don't want to frighten you, and I imagine you'd rather be closer to the door. So,
The moment
um,
you say there's more, you are met with a pair of very pleading eyes.
oh, well, if you don't mind, then, certainly uh, I can show you more of it. Um, he was kind of expecting them to not want to, but
Professor has been doing an amazing job at setting this child at ease.
aw, good. Um, he, he walks towards, uh, what you realize is a door on the far side of the room, um, and it automatically, it automatically slides open as he approaches.
I've just okay. I need to see if anything pokes through. Damn it, dice! That is a 3 plus 1. That is a 4. No no go, no show. Damn it!
Oh no!
But just they're. In any other case, there would be yellow excitement
Hmm.
because cool. But there's no actual reaction except for a very semi blank faced child happily trotting behind you,
Hmm.
looking and taking everything in. He is very excited about this, even though it's not poking through.
Hmm. Um, and he sort of he starts down the hall, and he says, "Well, we can start here. What would you like to see first? There's hmm there's a bedroom, there's a med bay, there's the kitchen and the pantry, um, there's the lab, there's the library, the pool." He just
Sammy
starts listing things off.
Sammy just kind of blinks and then kind of tugs at his soot stained clothes and then goes, "Pool not make dirty?"
Um, hmm. Uh, it's no, it's just water.
But water clean stuff.
Um, yeah. I mean, do you want to have a laundry room? Do you want to wash your kimono there?
There is a nod.
All right. Well,
This
let's.
child doesn't want to get your stuff dirty.
Uh-huh. Aw. Um, well, he says, let's, before we do that, let's swing by, the wardrobe first to, get you something to wear in the meantime. I'm afraid I only have real kind clothes, but I should have a few pieces in your size.
There is very much excited beaming at the idea of new clothes. Yay!
Aw. All right. He takes Sammy into a new room, and, this room is probably, it's uh it's about the size of a small store. Maybe like 50 by 50 feet or something. And it
Nice.
just has racks and racks of different clothes. Some of them look absolutely bonkers. There's a clown outfit, there's a like a sort of royal looking robe and crown. There's some sort of like fuzzy sailor outfit with horns. I don't know if Vikings are a good concept in this setting or not.
Professor, as like you are showing this boy around in the wardrobe, you see a flicker of yellow, but
Ah,
it's gone in a moment. But this kid looks at
mm-hmm.
you and then goes, Toon like.
I suppose you're right. It is rather, isn't it?
And then they point at you and go, You're like, as if to say, No, you are Toon like.
Oh, oh, do you think so?
And they nod. He nods.
Hmm. He sort of puts his uh puts his finger to his chin and nods thoughtfully and looks pleased at this. Well, thank you for the compliment.
Just, yes, the yellow is back a little bit, and you can tell that this kid is beaming at you.
I'm so happy. Oh gosh.
I'm just like, yes, thank you, Dice, for letting my boy emote.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Um okay, I think um uh the professor might have had some like sort of like magical size to fit clothes, but this kid
Mm-hmm.
said no magic. So
Mm-hmm.
he's just sort of looking for some of the smallest things he has. Thankfully, he has had some fairly small companions in the past. So he has a few outfits. One of them is very uh, futury. It's like a shimmery fabric with like it's sort of like a onesie, you know, um, space onesie, and then there's like a regular set of just kind of cute pajamas with uh some animal on them and also regular casual clothes
Mm-hmm.
of from various sort of eras styles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he shows Sammy to that collection of clothes and says, pick whatever you like from here."
Mm-hmm. And I am gonna say, like, there's like probably something darker colored,
Mm-hmm.
probably.
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does gravitate towards the darker colors because skin absolutely white. It's hard to color pick
Mm,
sometimes,
uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
especially when you actually factor in the fact that your shading changes color as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's just been ingrained in him to gravitate towards the darker colors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And even with his current state, he still goes towards those blacks, grays, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be cute, is there a maybe a darker onesie? Maybe.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. You see Sammy kind of wibbling between a more casual actual outfit and then the onesie, but he keeps drifting towards the onesie because cozy.
Yeah, the professor puts his hand on that one. Says, "Would you like this one?"
And there is a very shy but hesitant nod.
Mm-hmm. Um, the professor takes it off the hanger and uh, uh, he holds on to it and he says, "When we get to the laundry room, you can change in there." And oh wait, you're attuned though. Hmm. Um, and he says, "I wonder how that would work with real kind clothes." Because he's thinking about the fact that tunes can uh, or at least some of them, can switch outfits very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And Sammy kind of goes, mm, drug?
what did he say?
I kind of made a small noise and then I said, shrug?
Oh, um, the professor shrugs back, and then goes out of the wardrobe and over into the laundry room. And it's just got a couple washers and dryers in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one of them is running. Um, he uh, he hands or he did not want to get the stuff dirty. So he puts the onesie on a table in the middle of the room, so close to the edge, so Sammy can reach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how tall he is at 8. Probably could reach it.
Probably, he's probably like 4 feet right now. He's small.
Mm, mm-hmm. Yeah, but he could get that
But
off.
yeah, like he
And he
definitely can reach, I think.
Yeah. And he says, I'm gonna step outside so you have some privacy, and if you can change into that, then we can put your dirty clothes in the wash.
Sammy nods, and there's a very quiet thank you.
You're welcome. And the professor will do that.
And Professor, you experience a scene transition because you're vibing with a tune, and
Uh-huh.
so you turn around to go and walk out of the room, and then all of a sudden you're suddenly walking back into the room.
Oh my God. He he sort of stops for a second and like sort of whirls around a little bit, like, huh, what? Um,
And as soon as you kind of turn back around to face where your current little temporary resident
mhm,
is standing in a onesie, just kind of blinking at you, not having
mhm.
noticed anything.
Yeah. He sort of shakes his head like, oh, never mind. And he goes and puts the kimono in a new load. And it's space technology, so I think I'm gonna roll to see how long it takes,
Mm-hmm.
but it probably shouldn't be very long.
Mm-hmm.
It takes 10 minutes. So he's gonna leave that in there. And he says, what would you like to do next?
uh, Sammy kind of blinks and thinks, and oh, what would he do? What would he want to do? Well, I'm gonna roll a thing to see if. Okay, yeah, no. Sammy opens his mouth to say a thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then his stomach growls.
Mm-hmm. The professor chuckles and said, "Well, I think the decisions have been made for you. Let's head over to let's ah, words. Let's head over to the pantry and see if we can find something tasty. Hmm?
And Sammy nods and kind of just pads over and grabs your hand again.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then he kind of just looks up at you and goes, "You're like Miss Nana."
Oh, is that's someone you like?
Mm-hmm. She nice. Don't know where she is anymore.
Uh, well, I hope you see her again.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you,
But you're nice.
thank you. Uh, and takes him to the pantry, and there's uh, it's it's like it's it's a very well stocked um pantry.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it could probably feed a lot more people than um, one, but
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of got whatever you want in there, more or less. Um, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Sammy kind of like peers at it, and then what would he want to eat? Okay, question. Does
hmm
Professor in the pantry have some tune food? Or is it all real?
I think he would have picked up some produce at some point, so I think he would have. My brain is saying apples.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some like apples and bananas and uh I don't know, carrots or something.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Uh,
something pretty simple that you could get
mm-hmm.
at like a
Mm-hmm.
stand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get what you're laying down. Uh, Sammy kind of looks at everything and then he's gravitating towards the very visibly tuned food.
hmm
And he goes, apple?
Oh, absolutely. You can have an apple. Would you like it whole or sliced?
Sammy looks down and thinks, like very visibly is thinking for a moment. There are gears turning over his head, and then he looks back up and goes, "Sliced."
All right, sure thing. Um, he's going to grab two apples and lead the way out of the pantry and next door into the kitchen.
Hey, the kitchen.
There's a little uh, there's just kind of a seating area, like there's a kitchen table with
Mm-hmm.
seats at it. Um, so he'll pull out a seat for Sammy and turn to the counter and take out a board and a knife and cut up the apple.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like Sammy just kind of like plopped himself on a chair, and he's just kind of sitting there, swinging his legs.
hmm Professor puts the knife in the sink and puts the apple on a plate and puts it on the table. And he'll sit across from Sammy.
Mm-hmm. And this time, you don't have to even take a bite out of the apple before
Hmm.
Sammy is munching on some apple slices.
Mm-hmm.
Professor, you
Aw.
have gotten this tune's trust.
Ah. Oh man, that means a lot. Because he knows that later on, this kid is still pretty paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, he just sort of. Actually, could you roll insight?
All right, let's. Okay, that's a lot better than the last time you rolled insight, but that was a 13.
Ah, okay. Um, hmm. He kind of is just looking at Sammy and he's just smiling at first, but then he looks kind of thoughtful and then he looks kind of concerned. Um, but like concerned in a sympathetic way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, and he says, um, dear, could I ask a question? You don't have to answer it.
There's a very muffled uh-huh from a very chipmunk style cheeked child
hmm
munching. I will just note, I accidentally did a continuity error. He is actually 10, not 8. I switched the
Ah,
numbers because it was 8 years that he was on the streets. It was when he was
ah,
10 that he first got there.
uh-huh.
So I'm just kind of like, yeah, so he's 10. My apologies. The
That's
brain
fine.
flipped the numbers.
Yep. That's fine. He's just a little bit older then. Um, uh, he says again, you don't have to answer this, but I've met a few tunes, and um, you don't seem to be the you don't seem to be rubber hose. Um, um, so I'm a little confused about where your colors are.
Sammy blinks at you, and then there's a very visible swallow, and he looks kind of down at his hands and goes, they made them go away so you
Hmm.
wouldn't find me.
Uh-huh. So, so who wouldn't find you?
The man.
The one in the street?
Sammy nods.
Oh, what, what, what does he want with your colors?
And here's where it gets heavy, folks. uh, without saying anything, Sammy kind of pulls back the sleeve of the onesie that he was wearing and kind of holds out his arm so you can see Professor. And you
Mhm,
notice that there are dots on this tune, and it's the only color there.
mhm,
And they're a variety of rainbow colors.
mhm.
Mind doing a medicine check?
Yeah, I was just about to ask. All right. Uh, medicine. Uh, okay, I got a 10.
Okay.
Can
You.
I argue for advantage because
Yes.
he reacted to the needle earlier?
Yes, you can have advantage with the reaction
Excellent.
to the needle.
Oh no, that's worse. 5. I'll take the 10.
Okay, honestly, with the 10 that you got, I'm gonna lower the DC, so yeah, you are able to piece together. It takes you a bit to
Mm-hmm.
piece this together, but you realize that your first guess, your first inclination to brush it off as freckles,
Mm-hmm.
completely wrong. Because freckles don't encircle the wrist and aren't
Mm.
methodical.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Freckles are more sporadic than that.
Yeah. Yeah. He can figure out that these are needle marks.
Needle scars, to be fact.
Uh
And does Professor react at all to this?
um I think when Sammy shows him, I think he leans in a little bit to look closer. Um and once he figures out what they are, um um he um he kind of just um he looks somewhere between like concerned and upset.
Mm-hmm.
And um um he 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 reaches his hand out, but doesn't uh doesn't touch the marks, but just sort of traces over them in the air with his finger. Um, and he says, "Why that man gave you those?"
And Sammy shakes his head and he goes, Family sells ink.
What did you say?
Family sells ink.
Oh boy. Um, his eyebrows go way up, and he backs off a little bit, and he says, "Your family sells ink?"
And Sammy nods and pulls back his sleeve back to cover his wrist, and he kind of scrunches up in the chair. So, like, you know how, like, you kind of can get into a ball?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what he does. Um,
Yeah.
and he kind of, like, there is a very visible kind of faraway look as he kind of says, I started helping when it was 3 years ago.
Okay. Uh, dear, they sell Toon ink.
Sammy nods.
Okay. Are you aware that that's, well, actually, I don't know about the law, though I can imagine. But he says, is that that's, do you know that that's wrong?
And Sammy looks up at you and roll insight.
Mm-hmm. 12.
Okay, with a 12, you sense that Sammy knows, and you have the suspicion that he didn't like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like you don't get anything about like the depths of his feelings about this.
Yeah.
Especially considering the fact that he's still as white as a paper sheet.
Yeah, yeah. Oh boy. Um, well, as long as he like knows that, the professor is like, okay, well, at least I don't have to explain that to you. Um, um, he he runs a hand through his hair and says, is your family um is was your family Toonkind or real kind?
Hmm.
That's so odd. I don't understand.
And Sammy kind of shrugs and goes, "The real kind like it."
They they like it for what?
And Sammy kind of pauses for a moment, and there's a dot, dot, dot. Huh. You get the sense that Sammy himself tried very hard not to think about the whys and hows.
Ah, hmm.
But Sammy kind of taps at his covered wrist and goes, Ink is emotions?
Uh-huh.
And like it's like very clear he's like trying to maybe like with his own knowledge. I'm actually gonna roll a intelligence,
Hmm.
which is a straight d20, which is oh 16. Good boy, good job, Sammy. And, like there's another moment of dot dot dot, and I'm just gonna peck the dice. With the realization, there is a light bulb, and then you kind of just see like this dawning realization of
Hmm.
oh oh as this 10-year-old kid starts to actually think about what the heck his family was making him do, and
Ah, boy.
and there is color, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a very dark blue purple. And he kind of just sits there for a moment and goes, I think that they liked what it made them feel.
Uh-huh. They, um, drank it.
Sammy makes a face. Ew.
I mean, the professor is also, like, disgusted, like, visibly.
And then, like, Sammy also pauses and goes, I know some people used it to write.
I don't know why they would do that when a perfectly regular ink exists.
And Sammy just kind of shrugs. He doesn't know why either. Like he's just kind of like still kind of going, gross.
Yeah, yeah. Um, the professor just sort of um, nods, thinking, and says, "All right, well, let's see. You you're away from your family now? You've stopped, helping them with that?"
And Sammy looks at you, Professor, and he goes, they're gone.
Oh,
The fire took them.
oh. Um, he, um, he, uh, he reaches out a hand, slowly enough, like telegraphing its movement that like Sammy can
Mm-hmm.
move away, but uh, to cover his in a sort of just comforting gesture.
Sammy does not move away.
Hmm. I'm sorry about that, dear.
They told me to run. And I did.
Well, whatever else they did, that they were right to do that.
Why couldn't they have come with me?
That I don't know. I wasn't, I don't know.
And Sammy just kind of nods, and you watch as the dark blue purple slowly fades
Hmm.
and it's back to white.
Hmm. So let me see if I have this right. Um, that was the family business, and then uh that happened, and now it's um just you and uh this this other man is um was he a client? Is that why he's
Sammy just kind of like shrugs
hmm,
and goes, he knew who I was,
uh-huh.
so maybe?
Hmm. Well, at a guess, he probably wants um, more of that. If if I had to guess.
And Sammy nods. That was his running theory too.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's no good. Hmm.
Sammy just looks at you with like a yeah, no duh expression on his face.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, um, hmm. The professor sort of leans back in his chair and seems to be thinking about something, and he says, um, "Can I help you get further away from him?"
And Sammy looks at Professor and then nods.
Um, uh, the professor um, says, "I I have a very special mode of transport, a way to get around, and I can go very far, very easily, assuming my vehicle cooperates with me." Um, uh, so he says, I can take you out of this town entirely, if you like, and put you somewhere else.
Sammy looks at you, Professor, and then goes quietly, Einquil?
Sure.
I want to go home.
Where where in Einquell would you like to go?
There's a place called Haku.
I see. Okay. I don't think I've been there specifically, but I'm sure I can. Oh, I have a map. That's right. I can find it. All right. All right. So would you like to go there? Oh, I will warn you. It does the way that I get there, it does use some magic, but not on us. It's just sort of on the vehicle.
And Sammy nods and goes, I trust you.
The professor smiles softly. Thank you.
So, um, uh, if 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 you want, you can use magic, just not on me.
Sounds good.
And Sammy relaxes in his seat again, like, oh, good.
Oh gosh. Um the professor sort of taps a finger on the table and he says, "Is there anything in this town that you want to I don't know if you have any belongings that you need to go get or collect before we leave?"
And Sammy not well, yeah, he shakes his head no, and then I'm gonna roll my d10. That is an 8. Yay, not a fumble. And he pulls
Hmm.
out a little mouse who squeaks at you. I
Oh,
have squeakers. That's all I really have.
oh, okay. Hello,
Squeakers helped
squeakers.
me. And Squeakers squeaks proudly and
Uh,
gently nuzzles Sammy's cheek.
uh, the professor gives a little wave, says, "Hello, squeakers."
And Squeakers kind of just squeaks a little, actually kind of alarmed a little because, oh my gosh, there is a real kind man.
Oh no!
And then Professor, does Professor have speak with animals
He
as a
does
spell?
not.
Okay.
No.
Then in that case, all you
Oh wait,
hear.
hang on. He doesn't have speak with animals, but let me just check if this works. This might blah blah blah. Uh,
Well, I was mainly
noise.
asking for a gag.
Oh, okay. Well, he hasn't tested this beforehand anyway, so it doesn't matter.
hmm
Okay.
So, all you hear, Professor, is just Squeakers suddenly kind of processing the fact that, oh no, oh god, there's a real kind man talking to my boy. And Sammy has to then, therefore, talk Squeakers down from a panic attack by squeaking. And he is squeaking very fluently.
Oh my gosh.
So all you hear is just Sammy trying to reassure this rat that no, everything is fine. It's okay. This person is good. He's not like the other person. And squeak.
Oh boy. The professor for his part tries to uh lead away, give him some space.
And eventually Squeakers calms down, and there's a very tired rat just chilling on the small kid's shirt, shoulder, just vibing now.
Nice. All right. The professor stands up and he says, "Well, if that is everything, then uh, let's see about getting you to Haku."
All right. Uh, and I assume that we can jump cut to the console of Elipsis.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Transition scene! Professor, you experience another cutscene. You're welcome. Well, jump cut.
Very nice. He just kind of, like rolls with it this time.
You're with a tune. You're gonna experience these things, sir.
hmm hmm Um, well, he has been around Einquell a lot, and he does have a map.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Is it a modern map?
it is a modern map.
Okay.
It's a probably like quote unquote present day map
Mm-hmm.
of the continent.
Okay. Are you
Does he
looking?
not find?
Are
Yeah.
you looking at the map specifically, or are you kind of just going off of memory?
Oh, I mean, he's gonna pull out the map and look at it.
Okay. Uh, I'm trying to figure out what you roll me investigation to see if you can find it on the map.
hmm Oh God. All right, I'm sure that's gonna fail. What's my investigation? All right, it's an 8.
You don't find Haku listed on the map. There is a uh, from how Sammy pronounced it, you do get the inkling that it is Ghiblian in nature.
hmm
So you're looking in Ghibli. You don't see Haku. You do see Chihiro. You do see Koichi, but you don't see a city named Haku.
hmm he hands the map to Sammy and he says, do you know where Haku is?
And by nature of Sammy being in this time period, he kind of looks at it and he is so confused because he looks at you and goes, Haku's not on here.
I I don't know why.
It's right here, though. And he points it at the map, where Haku would be.
Uh-huh.
So if you use the coordinates that Sammy is pointing to, you can theoretically go to Haku.
Okay. Um I think uh the professor is going to try that. Um
All
he's
right.
going he's going to plug that in and uh he he warns Sammy that there's going to be some sort of lights flashing and stuff and some
Mm-hmm.
loud noises. Um
Mm-hmm.
and they're off.
Okay. You make the trip. It's normal. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then you arrive. But
Mm-hmm.
there is a strange, slight reluctance you feel, Professor, coming from Ellipsis.
Hmm. Um, hmm. He just sort of squints and uh just sort of pats the console and says, what is it?"
You do get the sense that there is something fixed here that can't change.
Ah, yeah, that's important. Um, yeah, absolutely, that is something she would pick up. Huh, 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 huh. Um, uh, well, and if it's reluctance, uh, can I roll, I guess, I don't know, intelligence to see if this is a, like, uh, to interpret this as whichever one's, I don't know, correct, as either, like, don't go out there, like you're not supposed to, or is this like you're
You,
not gonna like what happens out there,
it's
but it needs to happen.
you're not gonna like what's gonna happen, but it needs to
Ah,
happen. It's just it's
mm-hmm,
you know ellipsis enough to pick up on this. I'm not gonna make you roll.
mm-hmm,
Um, it's very much a this is going to be heavy.
uh,
Be prepared.
mm-hmm. Oh boy. Um. All right. Um. Uh. The professor um turns to Sammy and he says, and he the doors are closed. He can't if he were to try, uh Sammy couldn't just open them.
Mm-hmm.
Um but he turns to Sammy and says, "All right. Are you uh completely ready to go? Actually, we should fetch your kimono. I'm sure it's um nice and clean and warm now."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Sammy nods at that.
Hmm. So I think they go do that.
Mm-hmm.
Does he change back into it
I
or
feel
just
like
keep it?
I think he would change back into his kimono.
Hmm. The professor offers to let him keep the onesie.
I'm gonna have to roll to see if he does or not. One sec.
Hmm.
He does not. He kind of just smiles at you and shakes his head and goes, "No thanks. This is
Okay.
cozy, but you probably need it for someone else. my size.
I might. I might. Thank you. Um, and with some of the same reluctance that the uh Elipsis sort of communicated to him, he leads Sammy back to the console room, and uh God, uh I think on the way he grabs a few more apples and gives them to Sammy to put in his hammer space.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's at the console room in front of the doors, and he says, "All right, um, are you ready?"
Sammy nods. And just give me 1 sec, because I am needing to queue up an image that I didn't think we'd actually get to, so.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Da, 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 da,
Hmm.
da, da, da. Okay. Alright, I am good. I am ready.
Okay.
Uh, just, you can open the doors whenever.
Yep. Yep. The professor hits the switch to open the Ellipsis doors.
Alright, and this is what you both see. It is a burnt wreckage of what used to be a town.
Oh no.
And it's haunting seeing this scorched earth and red sky. And Sammy just kind of clutches at your pants, Professor, and goes,
Mm-hmm.
They got here too?
Oh, the the same. Y- when your family, you think the same people did this?
And Sammy nods, and that's where we're gonna end it off.
Oh boy. Ah. Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today, and for the people in the future who are listening to this. Thank you for listening. We'll see
Yep.
you next time. Bye!
Thank you. Bye.